back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at a preview matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers for this upcoming Sunday. I'm going to give my prediction, my projections, my matchup, comparisons, everything you need to know about this game and who I think will win. But I got to hear from you guys. What is your input? What is your score prediction for this game? Is it a blowout, a shootout, a low-scoring game, a one-score game? Whatever it is, comment down below, and we'll see how we match up at the end. Getting straight into it though, both of these teams are 1-0 after week 1. Raiders beating the Ravens in a crazy overtime Monday Night Football game, and the Steelers somehow beating the Bills surprisingly. Steelers are a good team, Raiders are a good team. How is these two going to match up? To me, these two teams are different in the sense that I feel like the Steelers are more extremely defensive heavy. I feel like everyone would agree with that. You know, TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, Cameron Hayward, Devin Bush, Joe Hayden, guys are at the top of their position. And then on the Raiders, I feel like it's more balanced. Their offense is just as good as their defense, arguably to me. I would say their offense is slightly better, but still it's not as one-sided as it is with the Steelers. And no disrespect to the Steelers offense, I like it. Najee Harris played 100% of snaps. Big Ben looked solid. He got the job done. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Juju Smith, pretty good receiving room. But one-sided, a lot of people would agree about their defense. As you can see, how they matched up in week 1, Raiders put up 33 points, 409 passing yards. Yes, they did have an extra quarter to play, but still, who's counting? Rushing yards, 82. Big Ben, not the best gunslinger ever, but still, when he's got TJ Watt on the other side to reduce the quarterback's yards, he's going to be just fine. Derek Carr versus Big Ben, kind of breaking down the matchup. Who's the better quarterback? Got to give it to Derek Carr. I like Big Ben, but this isn't prime Big Ben. He's coming up on 40. Derek Carr, still somewhat in his prime, you could say, and just based on what these two guys did in week 1, Big Ben did his job, but Derek Carr exceeded his job and really helped put the team on his back at times when they needed him. Backfield, tough one. I like Najee Harris, but I just think due to him being a rookie, I have to give the edge to Josh Jacobs in this one. He just has more experience, more reps. Excuse that noise. And he just looks more like a pro NFL running back. I'm not going to say Najee isn't, but he's just more pro ready. He's more in his prime. He's entering his prime when Najee is probably a year or two out from actually hitting that next level. I think Josh Jacobs is at his peak or getting there real soon. Najee, he's got a little bit of room to grow. Receiving room, if you consider just receivers, I'm going to give the edge to the Steelers. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Juju Smith versus Bryan Edwards, Henry Ruggs, Hunter Renfrow. No disrespect to the Raiders, but the Steelers got the edge on this one. Bryan Edwards definitely lived up to camp. Hunter Renfrow is underrated, but Henry Ruggs is still just a question mark of what he can fully bring to the table. Now, if you throw in tight end, we know Darren Waller is going to throw a big wrench into that equation evaluation of the receiving rooms, but it's a pick your poison type of thing. Offensive line, neither are spectacular. We'll see how the Raiders are if Richie Incognito plays. Alex Leatherwood did pretty solid besides the penalty he had in overtime, which his teammates probably wanted to kill him for. Steelers' offensive line, it's still young and in the making. Both are just, to me, are a little unproven. Looking at the defense, I like what the Raiders did this offseason. They completely revamped it. You know, they brought in Jerron Moore, Casey Hayward, Yannick Ngakoue, Gerald McCoy, Max Crosby was there, KJ Wright, Denzel Perryman. That's 6 new guys to this defense. And to help out the guys that were already there, Hankins, Max Crosby, Littleton, Jonathan Abrams, this defense is completely revamped and ready to go, and it looked good against Baltimore. Max Crosby was an absolute unit. Without him, the Raiders do not win that football game on Monday night. The Steelers, they got their X factors too, as we know. I already kind of mentioned it earlier. You got TJ Watt, Stephon Tuitt, Devin Bush, Cameron Hayward, Minka Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden. They're both good defenses. I'm going to give the edge to the Steelers. I still think the Raiders are a little undefined and a little unproven on their defense. I do think they're on the come up and up towards the rankings, but the Steelers are a proven lockdown top 5 defense as of today. While the Raiders look good, I'm not giving them a top 5 status by any means. So this is a tough game. It is in Pittsburgh. Looking at the stats, Big Ben, 188 yards, 1 touchdown. I just don't know if that will get it done against the Raiders. But Derek Carr, I also don't know if he's going to get his 435 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Steelers. Who's winning this matchup, in my opinion? If I had to pick, like I said, defense, it goes for the Steelers, and then the offense, I think it's a mix of how you break it down. But personally, I got to give this one in a very, very close game. I think I got to give the edge to the Steelers. It is neck and neck. I think it could go either way, but with it being at home and with just how surprising they were against the Buffalo Bills, to me, the way I see it, the Bills are better than the Raiders and the Steelers beat them. And I know that's really oversimplifying that because, you could argue the Ravens are better than the Steelers and the Raiders beat them. But you could look at the odds. Oh, there's a countdown. Steelers are favored 68% to 32%. It's early. They're favored -110. I just had it right here. I thought the spread was -4 or -5. There it is. Sorry for the scrolling. Well, 68% favor to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Raiders 32%. That kind of tells you right there where Vegas has them. Vegas isn't always right, but they give you a general idea of what you can somewhat expect to happen. Just due to the defense, I do think TJ Watt is going to get off of Derek Carr, especially if Richie Incognito is not playing. That won't help them out. Hopefully, for the Steelers' sake, I'm not a fan of either team, but they can limit Darren Waller. To me, if you take Darren Waller out of that game versus the Baltimore Ravens, the Raiders are not even close in contention. You can say that about anyone. If you take Mahomes away from the Chiefs, they're not in contention, obviously. So you can avoid that argument to an extent. But I'm just saying, if they can limit him, if you can have whoever you want to be in coverage on him, whether it be Devin Bush dropping back and Minkah Fitzpatrick trying to bring in some assistants or putting just Minkah on him, putting just Joe Hayden on him, whatever the Steelers' system is or matchup is, if they can limit Darren Waller and force someone else to win the game, whether it be Hunter Renfrow, whether it be Josh Jacobs, whether it be Ruggs, whether it be Bryan Edwards, I do think the Steelers have a good chance of winning those one-on-one matchups, of having those guys trying to win it by themselves. Raiders, the key to them winning this game, don't let Darren Waller be limited. Make sure he gets his 100 yards. Make sure Bryan Edwards continues to progress. Make sure Henry Ruggs continues to progress. As long as these guys are ascending and demanding more than themselves, and as long as this defense is coming together, the Raiders have a real legit chance. I think it's just such a small sample size from week one to really base off how good these teams are. They are both underdogs in their teams, and they came out on top. Now heading into this one, now we got to see who's the real deal underdog that's no longer an underdog. Who's the big bad guy in the yard that can somewhat, or for real, stand a chance at winning and making a run at their own division. I'm curious to see it, but this is a big game that really helps me justify who is possibly a hidden playoff team. I feel like a lot of general NFL fans this year didn't have either the Raiders or the Steelers making the playoffs this year, but if all of a sudden one of these guys are 2-0 and one of these guys dominated the other, we might be changing our minds real soon. I'm excited for this matchup. I think it'll be a good one. I think either one can come out on top. I won't be surprised either way. But if you ask me to pick, if you ask me to put my own money on the line, I would barely say the Steelers in an extremely close game. I'm going to say 21-17 Pittsburgh Steelers, but I won't be surprised if it goes the other way. You guys tell me, though, what you think. As always, and of course, comment down below, and thank you for watching. 2-1.